Manchester United Football Club, more commonly known as Man United, are based in the Old Trafford area of Manchester. Nicknamed the Red Devils, they were founded as Newton Heath LYR Football Club by the Carriage and Wagon department of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway depot in 1878. Welcome to Quick Facts. Let's take a look at Manchester United Football Club. In 1902, the club found themselves in debt, amounting to around £2,670, which would equate to around $310,000 in 2022. They would find 4 local businessmen who were willing to invest £500 each in exchange for direct interest in running the club. Later that year, Manchester United was officially born. United have a record 20 league titles, 12 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, and a record 21 FA Community Shields. They also were successful across various European competitions, having won 3 UEFA Champions Leagues, the Europa League, UEFA Cup Winners Cup, UEFA Super Cup, the Intercontinental Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup once each. Alex Ferguson is the club's longest serving and most successful manager, having won 38 trophies, including 13 league titles, 5 FA Cups, and 2 Champions Leagues. In 1945, Matt Busby was appointed manager of Manchester United. He would demand control over team selection, player transfers, and training sessions. Busby would lead the team to an FA Cup victory in 1948. 4 years later, in 1952, he would also take them to their first league title in 41 years, before winning back-to-back titles in 1956 and 1957. The team would be nicknamed the Busby Babes, a testament to his faith in the youth players. In 1957, Man U became the first English team to compete in the European Cup. Despite objections from the Football League, having denied Chelsea the season before, the team recorded a 10-0 win over the Belgian champions Anderlecht before losing to Real Madrid in the final. This still remains the club's biggest victory on record. The following season, on their way home from a European Cup quarter-final victory against Red Star Belgrade, the aircraft carrying the Man U players, officials and journalists would sadly crash while attempting to take off in Munich, Germany. It was labelled the Munich Air Disaster and would claim 23 lives, including 8 players: Jeff Bent, Roger Bryan, Eddie Coleman, Duncan Edwards, Mark Jones, David Pegg, Tommy Taylor and Billy Whelan, while also injuring many others. In the 1958-59 season, UEFA would invite them to compete in the European Cup. Despite approval from the Football Association, the Football League had determined that since they had not qualified, they would not be able to enter. They later went on to become the first English club to win the European Cup in 1968 against Benfica, with a team that had contained 3 European Footballers of the Year. Those were Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law and George Best. In 1972, Tommy Docherty was appointed manager and would save them from relegation that season, only to see them relegated 2 years later. They would immediately be promoted back the season after and would go on to reach the FA Cup final, but were beaten by Southampton. In 1981, Ron Atkinson was appointed manager and would immediately break the British record transfer fee to bring Brian Robson to the club. They went on to win the 1983 and 85 FA Cups. In 1987, he would be dismissed, as the club were dangerously close to being relegated. Alex Ferguson would arrive from Aberdeen the day Atkinson was dismissed, and would help them avoid relegation. A few years later, he would also be on the verge of a dismissal. However, a victory over Crystal Palace in the 1990 FA Cup final saved him. They claimed their first UEFA Cup Winners Cup the year after, which would allow them to play in the European Super Cup for the first time. In 1993, the club would win their first league title since 1967, and a year later, for the first time since 1957, they won a second consecutive title alongside the FA Cup, to complete the first double in the club's history. They would go on to do this again in the 95-96 season. In the 98-99 season, under Ferguson, they would become the first English team in history to win the European treble. This consisted of the Premier League, FA Cup and the Champions League. they found themselves 1-0 down in injury time during the 1999 UEFA Champions League final, before Teddy Sheringham and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored late to win the match. This would be considered one of the greatest comebacks of all time. That summer, Ferguson also received a knighthood for his services to football. In 2008, the club became the first British team to win the FIFA Club World Cup, followed by the Football League Cup and its third successive Premier League title. That summer, Cristiano Ronaldo departed the club for a world record £80 million. Man U would announce in April of 2021 that they will be joining 11 other European clubs as founding members of the European Super League, a proposed 20-team competition intended to rival the UEFA Champions League. However, the announcement drew significant backlash from supporters of each club, the media, sponsors, players, and the UK government, forced the 6 English clubs to withdraw 2 days later. The failure of the project led to Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward resigning. It also led to protests against the owners, which would include a pitch invasion against Liverpool, and would be the first postponement of a Premier League game due to supporter protests in the competition's history.